Now, that's much more interesting. So, are you willing to talk about him?
You better.
Because Albert, regrettably, has disappeared, and you are police detectives, I have no reason not to talk to you. Of course, I'm at your service, but you must understand I can't disclose information about my patients.
Not even if it's a matter of life and death?
Everything's a matter of life and death in here, Detective. This is a hospital, even if it's primarily for the mind, not the body.
Still, I'd like to give the impossible a try.
Please, Detective, just do your job, and I'll do mine.
Okay. Hold on. What is that word? The professor is a real polyester? What is that? Scientist, writer, philosopher, and who knows what else. What is a polyester? And am I pronouncing that correctly? What is that? Multiple. So he's interested in lots of things. That would be the thing. Someone who knows a lot or is interested in a lot. Okay. These pictures. Oh my goodness. Person of wide-ranging knowledge of learning. Nice. I like that. Okay, let's ask him some questions. Oh, we're gonna go. Okay. Let's talk about the asylum first.
What kind of a place is this exactly? I assume it wasn't built as an insane asylum.
It used to be a mansion. Construction started during the occupation in 622. Then it stood empty for almost a century, until finally it went to the crown of Cloville when Hector's great-grandfather took the throne. The rest is history.
How long have you been working here?
I've worked here for more than 30 years, but it's been in my family's possession for almost 150 years.
So if I count correctly, as soon as it went to the crown, it was seized by your family.
That's almost accurate, Mr. Featherland.
What a lovely inheritance.
Okay.
How long was Albert a resident of the institution?
For quite some time. His first symptoms surfaced in his teens. Depression, panic attacks, and schizophrenia.
Wow, depression in your teens? That is a thing. Goodness.
Was he brought here immediately after the first signs that something wasn't right?
You know, the biggest problem with an opinion on insanity is that animals are ashamed of it. That's the reason our institution stands out here in the middle of nowhere.
Because animals would rather hide what they're afraid to face.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
As far as I know, the Wessler family wasn't exceptionally wealthy.
Indeed, they were rather poor, but we offer our services gratis.
You do?
Then how do you sustain yourselves?
Yeah, that would be my next question.
By the grace of the treasury of King Hector III, of course.
Okay.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
My family and the royal dynasty had always been on good terms, Mr. Santino.
Tell me, Doctor, do you know Madame Zavas?
Just like everybody else, I've heard of her, but I never had the pleasure of meeting her in person. I'm sure she's an interesting case.
Oh, you can be sure about that. I'd gladly get you two together if I had the chance. A spare cell would suit her very much.
Is that so?
Sorry, this is bothering me a little bit. I mean, if you call it an insane asylum, and you go there to treat your depression, I would be ashamed of it also, for the only reason that they call it an insane asylum. If you're if you're depressed, you're not insane. If you're having panic attacks, you're not insane. If you what was the other one? Schizophrenia, you're not insane. So you're calling it an insane asylum? Oh, that irks me a bit. Just needed to say that.
As it turns out, she likes small, narrow, secret places.
Oh, I see. What a coincidence.
Yeah, that's why they don't call that anymore. But, you know, it's just... It just irks me a bit. I mean, if you call it that and you get sent there just to be treated for something like depression or schizophrenia, that doesn't mean you're insane. Now, if you murder people by the hundreds or the tens, or if you murder people and then eat them, now that's insane. But hey, sorry.
Dr. Quetzal's a real mystery. But I can turn that to my advantage. I just need to focus on the strangest pieces of the puzzle.
Okay. No, we're not good. That's not a good start, but okay.
So when did Albert become a resident of your institute?
Albert and Hobart, or Ibn as you call him, arrived here almost exactly 4 years ago.
Could you describe that day more specifically?
It was not long after New Year's Eve, maybe the first week of the year, if I'm not mistaken. It was sleeting that day. Wind was banging incessantly on the windows. The power was going out for short periods of time.
What was your first impression of them?
I already knew the Wessler name. I knew who they were. Or at least I knew one of them, Hobart Wessler. He was famous. Gangster, moneylender, celebrity, lover.
And Albert?
He was new to me, an invisible gray ghost. The family had tried to keep his existence a secret.
Why?
Yeah, why?
Because they were ashamed of him, of course, Mr. Featherland. That's how it usually is.
What was your first impression of him?
He was silent, but observed everything that surrounded him. His eyes were constantly moving, never stopped for a second.
Was he afraid?
I wouldn't say so. It seemed to me that he wanted to move into our institution voluntarily. It looked as if he couldn't wait to be here, alone, locked up in silence and darkness.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if your family wants to keep you a secret, I would want to get away as well.
Didn't you think of that as unusual?
Of course I did, but who am I to judge? It was rather special treatment.
Okay. Let's keep it about his. Let's keep it about him.
What kind of special treatment did Albert get?
Dinosaur. What? Garrus, thank you for the host. You found the button. And it works.
You know, if an institution like ours has to accept a Wessler as a guest, there's bound to be some favoritism.
And complete secrecy, I guess.
Yes, but that's the case for all our patients, Mr. Featherland.
Of course. So in what way did he receive more than the others?
Basically, we don't admit anyone into our institution without a complete and thorough prior assessment. In the case of Albert, we put that aside.
So you didn't even know if he had anything wrong with him?
Initially, no. He was more of a guest than a patient.
Okay. Here's the thread. I doubt it. What do you see?
How did you see Albert when you first met?
Albert was shy and reserved, like a ghost. He almost never touched anything. It was evident he was exceptionally intelligent. He measured and observed everything around him.
What else?
He was delicate and graceful, almost like a woman. Yes. He was rather feminine. He was an artist, Mr. Featherland, a magnificent painter, and rather good writer, too. Sometimes I even heard him sing.
The bit of the painting that we have might have been from him.
And why did he have to be locked up?
I asked the same thing at first.
Nice.
Are you telling me Albert had multiple personalities?
We found out very quickly that there was no other reason for the cause of his seizures. He had a cold and calculating personality who sometimes, especially on stormy days, took the reins over their shared mind.
He had these seizures from the beginning.
Yes, Mr. Featherland, but they started to intensify after Albert left our institution for the first time.
He did what? Left the institution? More than once?
Oh, yes, Mr. Featherland. Albert left the institution on several occasions until the last time, when he failed to come back.
Well, that is normal, right? Because he's there as a guest. And he is not a threat to society, so he can come and go whenever he pleases, basically.
Quetzal's not only very observant, but he's addicted to details. I must focus on that if I want to get closer to the truth. Focus. Addicted to details.
But the multiple personality, that worries me a bit. Okay.
When and why did Albert leave the institution for the first time?
It was about 2 years ago. Mr. Hobart Wessler appeared and demanded we let his brother go free. Naturally, we obliged. We had no idea if we'd ever see him again.
But you did.
He returned the same day. Albert was ecstatic. He was unrestrained. I could almost say happy.
That was unusual for him?
I had never seen him like that before, Mr. Featherland. He just smiled and stared at the empty wall for hours.
Did he ever tell you what happened to him outside?
Of course he did. Albert and I had a good relationship. He was working on a painting for his brother.
Was it a painting of a lovely lady cat?
Oh, exactly. So you already knew about that.
Oh boy.
Yes, Dr. Quetzal, I've seen it.
Okay. Details. Probably this one.
So Albert left on many occasions to continue working on the painting.
Exactly, Mr. Featherland. Every time he came back, he was like a different person. But unfortunately, his seizures also multiplied and became more dangerous.
More dangerous.
Albert was hurting himself.
Oh, no.
And on one occasion, he even tried to hurt me. It was unprecedented. It seemed his confined personality was taking over their shared mind entirely, piece by piece.
You know, that's dangerous.
Do you think the painting caused it?
Not the painting, Mr. Featherland.
Not dark, sure.
But its subject.
Exactly. He was obsessed, right until that fateful day when he returned to us for the last time.
What exactly happened that day, Doctor?
It wasn't Hobart who brought his brother back that day, but two of his gorillas. Not literally, I mean. And Albert was in a terrible, terrible state.
What happened to him?
I don't like to talk about that, Mr. Featherland.
Oh, but you will.
It could be vital to the case, Dr. Quetzal. Don't back down.
Oh, you're right. There's no use turning back now. So, Albert's tongue was torn out.
What?
Or cut off, I don't know exactly. And he was blinded in one eye. Or rather, one of his eyes was missing entirely.
Okay, hold on. He could not speak, you say. So it could be that it was Ibn instead of Albert then. But good lord.
So you're saying Albert was brought back horribly mutilated?
Yes. And they didn't give any explanation as to what had happened. They simply told me it was some kind of accident.
Dr. Quetzal is cold and professional, but he's also very confused. Maybe it's cruel, but I must exploit his vulnerability if I want to learn everything about Albert. Focus, confused.
Okay, we're doing well. I want to ask all of these. Oh my goodness. How would I confuse him with these questions though? I could have this, but... Or this. He doesn't want to talk about it. I don't want to... I want to ask this just to confirm it, but... Stop swaying. Oh my goodness.
You didn't believe Albert had an accident, is that right?
Of course not. I'm not naive. I knew immediately that Albert had been severely battered, and I was sure it had been his brother, Hobart.
Well, we don't know that, Dr. Quetzal.
Would you defend a monster?
Take it easy, Doc. One of the most critical elements of my job is not to make assumptions.
You're absolutely right, Mr. Featherland. I'm sorry I got carried away.
It's all right. Happens to everyone.
Yeah, that was not good.
Pull yourself together, Doctor. What was Albert's condition after the incident?
Mind your tone, Detective.
Sorry, Doc, but I can see you're disturbed by these memories.
How could I not be? I'm not a monster. We're talking about a mutilated animal here.
So, what was he like after the incident?
Even more silent than ever. No surprise, I suppose. He was not only silent in words, but also in his soul and spirit.
What do you mean by that?
He never painted anything again, and his seizures completely stopped.
There you have it. If that isn't suspicious, I don't know what is.
What happened then? How did Albert disappear?
A few weeks later, Hobart came to visit Albert one more time. Albert had been in terrible condition by then. We even had to transfer him to another cell, a more safe one.
What did Hobart do during the visit?
He didn't do anything. He just sat and watched his brother, who was in an almost vegetative state by then.
Oh boy.
Couldn't you manage to draw anything out of him? You or Hobart?
Nothing. For a while, he was trying to signal something. Perhaps he was too afraid. And most likely his fingers had been broken too, so he couldn't even write.
Wow.
Do you think Hobart could have killed Albert?
It's horrible to say it, but I'm sure of it.
How did he disappear in the end? Did someone come for him?
That's what's most eerie about it all, Mr. Featherland. He simply disappeared. His door, which only I had a key for, was open.
Did anyone see anything?
No one. We interrogated the staff, even the patients. He simply vanished off the face of the wilderness. We don't know what happened to him.
Unfortunately, I have a hunch. Thank you, Doctor. You've been a great help.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could be of help. But please, I now must attend to my work.
We understand, Doctor. Thank you.
Oh. Well, it's decent. Good enough. Not happy about this interrogation though, but we'll take it. We'll take it. Yeah, they got switched. I am certain of it. Oh, now we are there. So that's it. No more questions.
That's quite shocking information.
I think you understand why we kept it a secret. If it wasn't for Mr. Wessler's demand, we'd never let any of our patients walk freely outside our institution.
Then the accident happened.
Accident? Ha! We didn't believe it, not for a second. After Albert came back to us, horribly mutilated, he was different.
Different how?
If someone got one of his eyes poked out and his tongue torn out, he'd be different, but not like this. Albert was a different person.
We believe you, Doctor. So, can we take a look at Albert's cell?
I'd rather call it his room. Mr. Wessler lived in exceptional circumstances.
Thanks to the Wessler name, I guess.
Yes. Well, we try to make all of our patients stay as comfortable as possible, but Albert certainly enjoyed special favoritism.
I hope you don't mind if we take a look around in there.
That's not going to bother anyone.
Well, that's, surprising.
I've never seen a cell like this before, that's for sure. I wouldn't mind living here myself.
It seems that being a Wessler gets you privileges.
And a healthy dose of danger.
Mostly that, yeah. Let's take a good look around. I'm sure we'll find some answers here. I can almost smell them.
Well, I smell paint, ink, plaster, some kind of oil, aging paper, slight smell of rat, and Great Expectations.
The book?
What the dickens?
Unmistakable. Yeah.
This place is bad for you, pal. But if you've already jump-started your beak holes, then sniff out the solution.
I'm on it, Boss Bird.
Okay. Oh, this is nice, isn't it? Okay. Why is it creepy? It's not that creepy. It's just odd.
No way. Is this some kind of puzzle?
I don't think so. But we could still find something important here. A pattern, a sign, anything.
A kitty! I mean, eyes? A cat in a top hat? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Big house. Police car? Stars? What? I don't know. What? Why can't I draw here? Love you, Chad. I drew a butt. Just for you. Huh. I don't know what to do with this. Why is this here? Oh, I should draw on this. So this is nothing? It's nothing. Okay. What do you want me to do, game? What exactly do you want me to draw over? This is a flower. Ta-da! I don't know.
That design. It's like 2 letters.
Exactly. And where have we seen these 2 letters?
Where?
Think, Marty. Let's take a look in our bag.
That
Thanks,
piece
Uri.
of painting. Of course. So it's a signature. A.W. that...
Albert Wessler, the painter. This was what Natasha wanted to show us. The link between Ibn, Albert, and her.
It all started with the painting.
Yeah, and it'll end when we find the painting.
With Ibn Wessler.
Maybe, but I have another theory, too.
Me too. Oh, yes. For a handful of waffles. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a fancy bed. There's a writing desk. A painting. Wow.
The style. It's very familiar to me.
You've been lonely for far too long, huh?
No. It's like the brothel.
Not funny, Marty.
It is, a little.
It's very tasteful.
So this is an original Albert Wessler.
I think so. It's pretty good, I must say. And I saw something very similar in Natasha's room.
See, I thought it was a photograph, but it's a painting. It actually makes it more impressive.
You kept me out of it.
Sorry, little boy. Maybe next time.
Anything
Whew,
else?
it's hot in here.
No, it's not.
Okay, Marty, that's enough.
He didn't sign it, though.